Hey Sagittarius, how are we today? Just doing your weekly reading. This week we are asking the question, what lessons do you need to learn, or what do you need to learn? Whether that's spiritually, emotionally, or somewhere in the physical reality for you. We're going to ask the question and see what comes on out. But having some really interesting, good, positive answers for everyone at the moment too. So it's actually coming through with some really interesting messages. So we'll see what comes out for you. Please subscribe to the channel if you're not already. I do really appreciate that. I am using the messages from Spirit Oracle, as well as two of the Lenormand decks here. We have the Fairy Tale Lenormand and the Magpie Lenormand as well. Okay, so starting off with that oracle for you, Sagittarius. These are text only, but they're giving really good overviews for, messages there, what we need to learn. Okay, Sagittarius. What does Sagittarius need to learn? What does Sagittarius need to learn? Okay. Sit in silence for a moment and listen. The answers you've been seeking are finally coming to you. Truly trust and believe that you're going to make it and be exactly where you need to be. We're on this journey with you. Hang in there. It's not much longer. Okay, so starting us off, needing to learn just a little bit, touch more patience. Everything is coming through for you. It's just a matter of waiting for that to all fall into place. The answers you're seeking are finally coming for you. Sit in silence for a moment and listen. So I do feel a lot of you needing to learn how to just sit and listen to your higher self, to things that are coming up for you during meditations, all those sorts of things. And, paying attention to how you're feeling on the inside, what you're thinking about. I feel for a lot of you that there may be the need to meditate. I am getting meditation with that there. Okay, but we'll have a look with the Lenormand as well. Sagittarius. What does Sagittarius need to learn? What does Sagittarius need to learn? Okay, and what comes after that? One more, please. Clarify. Clarify the fourth card, please. Clarify the fourth card, how that connects to... Okay, so I kind of want to show you the third card, because it does seem to be the transitional energy of what we're really, the pivot point of what we're learning here. We do have the coffin as the third card here. Okay, so that's all about death and rebirth. So we're seeing something ending and a new beginning. Okay, so we're seeing the way of doing something ending is what I'm kind of getting here, and trying it in a new way, like ending out the way that you have been dealing with things, facing things, and then a brand new, like a new way of dealing with these things and facing these things. Okay, the thing that's ending here, we have the fox and the snake energy. Okay, so I do just want to say that if you do have strong Leo placements, you may want to check that reading as well. I did get both of those cards coming out in the same order for the Leo reading as well. So there may be elements in there for you if you do have strong Leo in your chart as well. Okay, but with the fox and the snake, they both do have a little bit of trickery. Okay, the fox itself is very you do things a certain way out of your own sort of survival, trying to, do everything all by yourself. It's very independent kind of energy, doing things for yourself. It can be a little bit selfish, I suppose, in some ways. But this is what, keeping in mind, this is what's needing to end. This is a way that you've been doing things, that you are needing to sort of end this way of managing, this way of reacting things. So, it has been useful, to you, because it's a very independent kind of energy, very self-serving, looking out for yourself, number one kind of energy. But, with the snake, trickery, like the trickery element keeps coming through with that fox, that the fox can be something, where you say what you think people want to hear. You do what people want you to do, not necessarily what you really want to do. You do kind of more along the lines of what's expected, because the snake shows us that it's a little bit of it can be deception, but I do feel in this situation it's more mask. It's more of like a putting on a mask that, oh yeah, I'm just going to go with the flow. I'm going to go along with what everyone else wants, kind of energy there. It's a little bit of self-deceit. You're telling yourself that you're doing things this way, you know, to avoid trouble, but it makes more trouble for you in the long run. It's a little bit of self-deception there, that, this is, I have to do things this way. I have to be like this. I have to just go along with what people want me to do, what people expect me to say and do, because that's what you're kind of telling yourself. But what we're seeing here is that way of dealing with things, that way of reacting to things, it does need to come to an end for your highest good here, for, for the things that you truly want to commit to and belong to. For yourself, this is not serving you, basically. Okay, because yes, like I said, we see that coffin, that fox and snake energy, coming to an end. For some of you, this may be external to you. There may be someone around you who is wearing a bit of a mask, and that is coming to an end. But I do feel that for majority of you, because we are looking at what you need to learn, that this is coming from within. The phone calls coming from inside the house. Every time I say that, I like, it makes me laugh. But that's kind of needing to come to an end. For some of you, it's kind of like lifting off the rose tinted glasses and seeing things for how they really are, and about yourself and about the people around you that are sort of maybe deceiving you in some kind of a way. It's not that they're deceiving you in a negative way. It's because, coming from looking out for themselves, or telling themselves that they're doing what's best for everyone, rather than doing what's necessarily the right thing to do for themselves. They're kind of just, like I said, for you yourself, it could be you yourself, but like I do feel for majority of you, it is you yourself. But there may be a couple of you where this is something happening sort of around you that you're involved in here. But the new beginning that we see with the coffin, there's always a rebirth with the coffin energy, and the rebirth is with this. The whip, which, it is one of the more negative kind of cards. So it does talk about conflict and trouble and tension and drama that, is either around you or within you. It could be that conflict within, with the way that you sort of beat yourself up for things, and put punishment on your own self for, the way things have happened in the past here. But it's a new way of dealing with the conflict, with the tension, with all the drama. It's a brand new way of doing this. Instead of having this mask here where you are, suffering maybe a little bit of self-deceit, or trying to deal with things like, because I do keep getting drawn to this idea of trickery, and that it's doing what you think everyone wants you to do, and saying what you think everyone wants you to say, kind of going along with the crowd kind of energy for a lot of you here. And this sort of shows us that you're dealing with this in a new way, and you know, learning to become more confident dealing with conflict rather than avoiding potential conflict, actually facing conflict and dealing with it, and learning how to actually learn from conflict and resolve conflict rather than just avoiding it altogether, which, you know, it is coming through here with that clarified by the anchor and the dog. Okay, so it does show us that facing these conflicts a little bit more head on, and finding new ways of dealing with conflict, reacting to, you know, conflict, drama, tension, it is actually, you know, it's creating a lot more stability for you long term here, especially within your friendships and your relationships with those people platonically, friends and family, you know, people that you are very loyal to. You feel as like people understand you more from dealing with things in this new kind of way. You know, there's a lot more understanding and compassion with actually, you know, things actually getting resolved from conflict and facing the conflict and dealing with the conflicts when they arise rather than kind of masking the and avoiding the conflicts, you know, is what I'm really picking up on here. And it's going to, you know, create a lot more support and, you know, reliability and dependability within those relationships. And, you know, the loyalty strengthens, and you know that no matter what conflict happens, no matter what storm comes through, that anchor is going to hold this relationship steady. And you know, in the long term, it's going to be much more reliable for you, you know, to actually deal with things rather than ignore them. They're not sort of getting built up inside of you and having this pent up stuff going on. All right, so it really just sort of shows us that you are just sort of considering new ways of dealing with things that are what we may perceive as, you know, harder to deal with, you know, difficulties within relationships, direct conflicts, arguments, even, you know, dealing with those things a little bit more front on, with them in the mind of resolving those things is really going to help you out here. That's a really good lesson for you to be learning at the moment, Sagittarius, is the concept of resolving conflict rather than avoiding it. Okay. All right. Sagittarius. Career and finances. Did I forget to mention at the start that we're going to look at career and finances as well, but it'll be in the title. But career and finances, Sagittarius. What's going on for Sagittarius with career and finances, please? I'm hearing that song, money, 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 must be funny in a rich man's world. I do have the hidden energy I have on the bottom of the deck. I have the flowers, which is, you know, it can be a gift of some sort. And then I'm seeing the gift of stability and growth potential here for you, Sagittarius, with that's financial, I feel. So the potential gift of stability and growth with your finances in the near future. I am seeing that for a lot of you, this lesson that we just spoke about, for a lot of you, it is playing out in all aspects of your life, including your career. There's a reason that you're needing to learn this lesson now. It's because something may be coming up for you with your career, that you're needing to sort of deal with this conflict differently to how you normally would deal with conflict. We have the garden coming through firstly. So there is some sort of a meeting. I do feel as though that's specifically a meeting for a lot of you here. For some of you, it may be like a work event, you know, but it's bringing emotions to the surface here with the moon. You know, the moon does talk about this meeting bringing some sort of emotions up in you. You know, there is an element there is an element of listening to your intuition here as well. I feel like a lot of you have already got a bit of an inkling of what's going to happen in the near future with your career, or a fear even. I do feel that for some of you, there's a bit of fear attached that, like you get called to have a work meeting, or you're coming up for a work review or something like that, and you already have a little bit of emotion about that. You're a bit of fear about what's going to be said during that. But yeah, I am picking up that it's like it may be a very sort of casual meeting. It doesn't necessarily feel like it's having to meet the whole board of directors or something like that. It's not feeling like that. It's just feeling like it's going to be a little bit more of a casual meeting, or like some social thing happening within the workplace. The garden does talk about social aspects, meeting up with people, that kind of a thing. But we do see the emotions at the surface here for you as well, Sagittarius. So it could definitely be like a work meeting involving a group of people. But it could also be one-on-one. I feel for some of you it's one-on-one kind of meeting. But for others of you, this is like a social event that's got to do with the workplace. So like I'm getting Christmas party vibes, but obviously we're nowhere near Christmas, but it's giving those sorts of vibes, like some sort of office party, or like something happening related to work, but it's outside of work hours for some of you here. So it's like just a group of workmates deciding to go out for dinner together or something like that. But it is bringing emotions to the surface somehow or other because of some specific communication. We have the letter there. The letter does talk about communication. It can be texting, phone calls, emails, talking in person. But for some of you, it's actual paperwork as well. There's some sort of actual paperwork. So this meeting may be where you need to sign a new contract. You need to sign off on something that's happened in the workplace or outside of the workplace yet connected. Something along those lines. But we have the snake coming through as well. So like I mentioned before, the snake can talk about deception. It can talk about, I just want to clarify that because it does have a dual meaning, the snake here, especially when it comes to work and career. I'm just wanting to clarify which direction that snake is leading us. Clarify the snake for Sagittarius with career, please. Okay, so it's actually in a much more positive direction than we may have felt. Just one more to clarify that snake energy. One more to clarify that snake energy. Yeah, exactly what I was sort of feeling. Because especially okay, I've clarified that with the caterpillar and the book. All right, which really gives us a clearer understanding of what this snake is talking about here with this, because it's kind of feeling, especially with the letter and the book both sort of showing themselves, a little bit the caterpillar as well. The snake's alternate meaning, which is the meaning for you here, it's all about your ambition, your drive, your passion, your desires within work, where you're wanting to go within the workplace, within your career, your true ambition towards this career. So it definitely could be some sort of a new contract or a promotion even for some of you. But we are seeing with these other elements coming through here, we are seeing that for quite a lot of you, this news, this contract, it is going to involve education or further training. All right, especially that caterpillar, and then the book as well. The book does talk about education, quite frankly, by itself, learning, needing to learn more things. So for some of you, you may even, with what we've seen already, and you're in the entire reading, it could be like conflict resolution training. Like it could be that literal for some of you. But, with the caterpillar here, it's kind of consuming as much information as you can, learning as much as you can, learning more, consuming, the need to observe and consume as much, information about, about your true ambition and desire and passion and the communications that are going on around you here. So if you are going to some sort of work meeting and things like that, take notes. With the book and the letter both there, I would strongly suggest taking notes. Even if it's not one of those kinds of meetings, take notes anyway. Sit there with a bit of paper and just write down, what's going on here. For some of you, you are going to be presented with paper outlining things anyway. There is this, if you're wanting to, because I do feel here that it's like some sort of communication regarding your true ambition, your true passion. With it being shown by the snake, I do feel it necessary to say that if you are being presented with paperwork, with contracts, things like that, please make sure you do read the fine print, because, like I said, that snake, one of its traditional meanings is deception. So it can sometimes mean that there's something hiding sort of in the grass, but beneath the surface there, that you just need to be careful not to step on that in a negative way. But ultimately, I do feel as though this is, more training. It's now that I'm seeing that all together, it's more training for a lot of you here. The need to consume more information, more knowledge about where your ambition, your passion is truly taking you within your career here. Okay, but definitely feeling like there's like some sort of meeting that kind of spurs this all on. So for some of you, it may be like a one-on-one meeting with what's the word? Like a mentor, that kind of thing as well. All right, so that's what we have for you today, Sagittarius. More than welcome to check your other placements, of course. Leave a comment. Let me know how that resonates for you in your particular situation. Subscribe to the channel, and hopefully I'll see you all soon.